Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Yes, my name is Kent and the channel is EOS San Diego. And of course I talk about the blockchain, among other things. And tonight, I'd like to talk a little bit about what's happening, what's going to happen. I want to talk about the future because I'm hearing videos, listening to videos, listening to people, and they're talking very negatively, very pessimistically about the future. And it goes a little bit like this, that they're printing a lot of money right now. And obviously that money is going into assets. You know, people are playing Robinhood, taking the Robinhood app and playing stocks and making hundreds, if not thousands of percent in appreciations. And nobody's working anymore. Everybody's getting stimulus checks. They're playing the casino game. They're playing the, maybe the crypto game with the appreciations. Nothing's being produced. The government is spending way too much money. And this is going to end up very poorly for everybody, including people that are waiting for more money from the government. And in the meantime, not doing anything. Nobody's producing anything. And everything's inflating. Everything's becoming more and more expensive. And eventually, this is all going to have a very, very bad ending for everyone. And I want to talk a little bit about this because this is kind of what I would say is fear-mongering. People talking negatively about the way things are going. Now, I don't disagree with what's happening. And I actually agree with a lot of what's happening, the fact that it looks really, right now, unsustainable. And that maybe people, this isn't going to turn out well for the economy, for the American people, or for the people around the world. But I have a little different take than most people. And the reason I have a little different take than most people is because I've been around probably a little bit longer than some of these people that are making these videos. Not to mention the fact that they believe that their videos will be taken down by YouTube if they continue to expose what's going on, as if we don't already see what's going on and most people can kind of figure it out. So I don't think videos are going to be taken and YouTube accounts are going to be eliminated because you're exposing the fact that we have an unsustainable economy or unsustainable situation. And what I would say about this is I would say that you can't look at what the past has, what's happened in the past. And everybody says the past is a predictor of the future, only to a certain extent. Only to the extent that you don't bring in new information. Just like in the 1980s or 1970s, there was no way we could envision the computer age of technology and how things transpired, you know, after the .com, after the computer, after the internet. There was no way in the 1980s to project that, to see that and see how that was going to all transpire and take place. In fact, if anything, in the 1970s and 1980s, we looked worse than we do today with COVID, even with COVID, because technology hadn't taken effect yet. Inflation was rampant, and we were thinking, as I was when I was a young man, you had to buy gold and silver because if you didn't buy gold and silver, dollars were basically going to just eat you alive, just like we're thinking today. But I had no idea that technology would come to take place and it would cause actually negative inflation because things would become cheaper because of technology. So in other words, things are going to be done in a way that it was less expensive. And so that would make inflation lower. So that's exactly what happened. And that's exactly what I see happening in the future from here on forward. What you're seeing now is you're seeing a reset on the economy. And what the reset is the government is spending a lot of money, but it's spending a lot of money to transition to this new economy. This new economy basically is going to be a technology economy. The legacy jobs, the legacy economy that's taken place in the past, whereas, and I see this basically because I grew up on a farm in Nebraska and I see what's going on in farming today. And I see where GPS, you know, so many things in farming right now are taking place that in ways we would never dreamt when I was a kid. You know, I see these massive pieces of equipment that are guided through GPS where they don't even drive themselves down the row anymore. Literally, you know, when I was a kid or when I was younger, and you would plant a row, you couldn't keep it straight because you were driving the tractor, and if you hit some bump or something like that, it would make the tractor veer to one side or the other, and you'd have a crooked road. Now they just plant perfectly straight, perfectly in line, all by GPS, and not only to the fact that they've got their mapping in their combines and their tractors to where their applicators can put on applications on ground and know exactly what the yield was the year before, and precisely put on the ingredients needed for the most efficient use of the fertilizers and chemicals. Where we used to just broadcast out over a piece of land and throw the same amount on the good land as we did the bad land, we had no way of knowing how to monitor or how to regulate or how to turn the system off and turn the system on in a certain place. Now with GPS and locators and computers and tractors and stuff like that, they can do this. This is what I'm talking about. This is a new economy. You know, and this legacy economy that's been dying for 20 years now is being put to rest right now. And the government is financing this transitional period. So from the time that we're going from the legacy economy, the economy where people did a lot of the work, to this new economy where it's going to be more autonomous, where people will literally tractors will be driving themselves, trucks will be driving themselves, and people will be doing more things like being online. They will be doing work in a different way, a work where they don't leave their homes, where they work where they don't have to travel or commute, work where they'll be at home, work where they'll basically have ways of making money through applications and through different things, different means, different ways of doing this. This will be the new economy. And not only that, it'll be a borderless economy without government interventions, without restrictions, and without all the regulation that we have today. And this is why I think this new economy is going to be a better, greater, more efficient economy. The government is transitioning into this new economy. It's not doomsday. It's not we're going to be, starving and the government is going to be printing money to infinity and we will all be hopelessly lost and, living in a tent or, someplace outside like I am right now without anything to eat. That's because nobody's doing anything, nobody's producing anything. That is simply fear-mongering. If you're listening to people like that, you need to stop because it's not productive. And not only is it not productive, it actually robs you of your life and your time. If you're alive today and you're young, this is your time, and it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be scared to death that you do not have any kind of future, because you have a bountiful future, and you should embrace the time we're in and embrace your time and your life, and not be led down the road of fear-mongering and making people think that we have doomsday and that you need to take cover and move to some place in Montana. Not that Montana's bad, but someplace in Montana or Utah and live off the land, because that simply is making you scared and making you not enjoy and have the life you deserve and have the time you deserve. I'll give you a simple example. When I was a kid growing up in the 1960s, and I'm elementary school, and I don't know how many people live or watch my channel that are in my age group, we used to have fear the Cold War. Of course, the Russians had the nuclear bomb, and everybody feared that it would be used. And we used to literally have a drill, maybe once or twice a month, where we'd have to hide under our desks or make it to some fallout shelter in case of a nuclear attack. And I remember as a kid, very vividly, thinking my only hope was that I would make it to middle school so that I could play sports. I wanted to play organized sports. I wanted to play organized football, basketball, track. I was a pretty good athlete, and I wanted to play sports. And I just thought, geez, if I could just make it to middle school before this nuclear holocaust and play a little sports and have a little fun, I'd probably die happy. That's what they did to me as a kid. Don't let them do it to you now. Don't let them do it to you. Don't let them rob you of your happiness and your ability to think for a great and prosperous future, because it's still very much in your future, and you will get it, you will have it, And don't listen to the fear mongers. Don't listen to all these people that are telling you how bad it is, how COVID is going to ruin the world and ruin the economy. How you got people out there that are going to literally try to put you in FEMA camps and turn you into, I don't know, Soylent Green, like the movie. I don't know if anybody ever remembers that movie or not. Like, I think Charlton Heston was in this a long time ago, but it was eugenics. But anyway, whatever, you know, whatever is saying this kind of stuff is just simply making you fearful and making you scared, just like they did to me when I was a young kid with the Cold War. Then as I got a little bit older with the inflation, and a little bit older, we went through the banking crisis, and now here we are with COVID, and we're doing it all over again. So please, don't buy into this stuff. You know, there's a great future ahead. I think it's going to be involved cryptocurrencies. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to be borderless. It's going to be limitless. And your future is very, very, very bright. And I think it's going to be very, very prosperous. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about is that it looks like XRP is not going to get a waiver from the Securities Exchange Commission, according to a YouTuber that I listen to, who is an attorney. I think I've mentioned his channel on this channel a couple of times. He claims that the Securities Exchange Commission has now decided that they will no longer give waivers out. So if you got a waiver, like EOS got a waiver, that is not going to happen anymore. And of course, he never talks about EOS, so I don't know how much he really has delved into the Securities Exchange Commission and how they handle if you're a security or not, without talking about the EOS case, because that's the best example I can think of. He talks about a few other cases, so I don't know how well he understands this, and it looks like he's pretty new to crypto. But the EOS case is certainly paramount as far as what the Securities Exchange Commission has given as far as a waiver is concerned to EOS. So all these other companies that did ICOs, they're not going to be able to negotiate waivers with the Securities Exchange Commission, it sounds like. So that's a huge windfall for EOS. Huge windfall. You know, so if you're sitting here still doubtful, still writing me comments like I need to give it up and, you know, smell a coffee and rise out of the, you know, you know, whatever it is, my infatuation with EOS, and jump on the XRP train, or jump on whatever other train there is that is out there, Polkadot or whatever. Not to say Polkadot's bad, not to say XRP is bad, I don't really care. I mean, I'm a crypto person, so I like them all, but you know that I can't have or can't like EOS because it just simply hasn't done what these others have done appreciation-wise. So they do have the waiver, of which it doesn't sound like anybody else is going to get. It's a very valuable thing. I can't help to think that these people that negotiated that waiver really had advanced knowledge that this was going to happen. It seems highly unlikely that EOS went to the table way before everybody else did and kind of knew what was going to happen in the future. So I'm willing to think that there's a little background going on here that we don't know about, and I've talked about that before on this channel. So if you're still doubtful about EOS, just pay attention, keep an eye on it, keep telling me how negative you are about it, and we'll see how the future turns out. Because I think right now at $5, close to $5, up from about $2.50, I think we're looking pretty good. In fact, somebody wrote me a comment. I wrote them back as much comment as I could probably fit into the comment section about that I didn't really go deeply into EOS and what it's about. And my thing is hey, I don't want to go deeply into it about it in this channel, because the more deeply I go into it, the more it becomes ununderstandable to people that really don't get it or haven't studied it. You know, you got to put a little time and effort into it. Like I told her I did. And literally a few years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't understand crypto either. And my son, who was always talking about crypto almost every day, couldn't, you know, not talk about crypto. And I got tired of arguing with him, so I had to kind of figure out a little bit to say back to him every time he told me how wonderful it was. So I had to spend a couple of weeks, you know, just trying to really figure it out. And once I had a brain reset and figured it out, then I became, you know, as big, if not bigger advocate of it than he was. So that's what you have to do. You really have to get a brain reset. And that's what you have to do with this economy. You have to get a brain reset on this economy. You have to reset your brain to what's happening, what's going to happen, and the way the future is going to play out. And don't do the fear mongering, and don't allow these people that are going to tell you stuff like, hey, you know, I've got such such valuable information here, and it's so controversial that if you watch this channel, you better make sure you tell your friends about it. And if you don't tell your friends about it, be careful, because this channel will be taken down, and this video will be taken down. And all it's about is about how, you know, everything's going to hell in a handbasket. And I just fear that people buy into this stuff way too much, and they miss out on so many opportunities, and they miss out on a quality of life that they really should have. So that's what I would advise you. Don't believe that. We are transitioning to a new economy, a better economy, a more autonomous economy. It gives people more freedom to do more the things that they like to do, more freedom to be at home with their families, more freedom to work in whatever it is that they want to work at, and have other things, things that have been done, the legacy economy that we're used to working in, you know, will be done by, you know, autonomous things, you know, just like what they're talking about with Amazon. First time I heard that Amazon would start delivering packages by drone, I thought it was crazy. Now I see what they're doing, and I see that that's probably what's going to happen. You will be getting your packages by a drone. First time I heard that there will be transportation deliveries done by driverless cars and trucks. I couldn't understand how that would work. Now when I drive a Tesla car and see how easily it drives itself, I understand. So yeah, we are transitioning to a different economy, a better economy, a brighter economy, and I don't think anybody will not be more satisfied and have a higher, better standard of quality of life. And it will be from technology, cryptocurrencies, and the ability for people to work together in a more homogeneous world than we have today, which is where people and borders and countries that are at odds with each other over ridiculous issues that make no sense at all. It's just a matter of people fighting about things that they don't really even know why they're fighting. They're just fighting because, you know, like their previous administration. You know, why would they start wars or trade wars with other countries because they feel like they got robbed on a deal or something like that? I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion on how things work out. But anyway, gotta let that stuff go and work together and have an economy that everybody can prosper from. I appreciate you watching.